dance for joy or lust or anger, and every time you haven't got it right, you're one of us.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, the series where we look at practical and sensible cars which you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2019 Kia Sportage QL 1.6 GDI 2. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the fourth generation Sportage was launched in this country in early 2016. It replaced a very successful car for Kia, which was the third generation. And these are generally very well liked cars indeed. They are one of the best sellers in this country, in fact, in their sort of current guise. And I tested one of those in 2022. This one though is just sort of coming into the region of sensible second-hand reviews, not this particular car because this is a very low mileage late car, but the early ones you can now buy for under £5,000. So there we go. It's one of the probably the most sensible second-hand buys you can have for a family car these days. So Kia says that you can do 0 to 60 in one of these in 11.1 seconds. Let's see if they're right. Not the nicest sounding engine, this 1.6 GDI. No turbo in this particular car. It's a normally aspirated engine, generating about 130 horsepower in this. 0 to 60 apparently 11.1 seconds. I can probably believe that if you can actually train your ears not to bleed through this sort of rather unpleasant noise that this engine makes when it's revved hard. To be honest, you won't be driving like that most of the time in one of these anyway, so this 130 horsepower engine will be absolutely fine for most of what your needs are. If that isn't, then you can go for a turbocharged version of this engine, which has 177 horsepower and will do 0 to 60 a bit quicker. The main advantage actually of the turbo, it's not just the extra performance, it's the fact that you can get it with an automatic gearbox and four-wheel drive. And I think you can actually get either or, which is good. Most Sportages you'll see though are front-wheel drive like this one, and most people will not need the extra complication of a four-wheel drive system. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. What we do talk about is that Summit Garage here in Dudley have been very kind enough to lend me one of these, and I haven't driven one of these for quite a long time. I sourced one for a client in 2021, not since then actually, which is unusual, but there we go. It's a very easy car to drive this. The biggest problem is these enormous C-pillars, which is why I'm grateful that all the cars that were made after the facelift in 2018 have a reversing camera and parking sensors, because you might need that. Rear window's not too small, I suppose, but it's good to know that actually when you're trying to manoeuvre it, that you're not necessarily doing it blind. Steering is quite light, especially a car like this. Gear change is very nice. Obviously the fact that this car's only done 20,000 miles will help, but yeah, it's a slick enough gearbox. It's a pleasant car to drive. So I imagine long distance cruising will be fun. We've got lane keeping assist and cruise control and things on this 2 trim, and I imagine this will be absolutely fine for what most people would need on a daily basis. Even in this 2 trim, this Sportage does look actually rather neat. I don't know about the front styling. I never have been too keen on that on these. The rest of the car's fine. It's all personal preference though, really. Got reversing camera and parking sensors. You could get a 1 Sportage as opposed to a 2 or a 3 or a 4. But most people went for the 2 and upwards, and the 2 trim's really all you need. I mean, the others like the GT line and GT line are nice, but it's got everything that the modern family man or the lady of a house would need. So, open up the boot. Just a manual boot on this 2 trim. About 491 litres. The petrol models are all the same boot size. The ones that we can't talk about on the channel, well, yeah, they're a bit different. Nice low blind cover. Nice flat floor as well. I think you can actually put this down a little bit too. There's a little underfloor storage here. Yeah, you can put that down if you want. Got a tyre mobility kit. I mean, I would like an actual tyre, which it looks like there is space for in there, so I would prefer that. But there we go. That's just what happens these days, isn't it? Very mean of manufacturers to do that. Boot light is there. Got some hooks. They don't look particularly substantial, unfortunately. Did we get a 12-volt socket in here, or is there none? Oh yeah, it's here. That's good. There's a tie-down point. Where's the 12-volt socket? Is there not a 12-volt socket in here? Viewers, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed indeed if there's no 12-volt socket. Let's just put this boot down. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, loads more space now. I haven't found the 12-volt socket though. Wow, I can't believe there isn't one. That's quite a major omission in a car like this. There'll be the electric button if you had an electric boot on this, which we don't. Right, let's get in the back, shall we? There should be a load of space in here. It's a big old car, this. Yes, there's loads of room. Tons of room. Very easy to get in and out. Ah, someone's not deleted the map pocket, that's nice. And we've got a central armrest. Excellent. It's doing well. Add some cup holders. I mean, some of you would like a, I don't know, a leather interior or something like that. I mean, I'd like a leather interior personally. But you don't need one, do you, when looking at a car like this? You also, apparently, according to Kia, don't need fabric on the door cards or hard touch, soft touch door tops, because you don't get them on this trim. Never mind. I'm sure we'll cope without them. Got some nice big door bins there. And heated rear seats. This is the second trim from the bottom, and we've got heated rear seats. In fact, multi-stage heated rear seats. Wonderful. It is quite dark in here. I mean, I've seen some of these with a panoramic roof, which would be nice. It's not too bad. At least it's a white headline, or not a black headline like in a Toyota RAV4. It's not really my favourite, that sort of thing, viewers. But yeah, there's not really much else to say. It feels spacious enough. Getting child seats in and out of here would be pretty easy. Only 5 seats, not a 7 seats. But if you really have a family that big, then you can just buy a Sorento, I suppose, or something else. Right, let's have a look at the front, shall we? So I haven't got keyless entry, but again, do you need it? Probably not. No electric seats. Do you need them? Probably not. Key just goes in here. We have got automatic lights and automatic wipers though, which is good. There's also some other surprising things about this car. For example, we've got automatic power fold mirrors. We've got heated seats in here. We've got dual zone climate control. The touchscreen though, you can tell this is not top of the range though. It's okay. It's a 7-inch, I think, in this particular car. And all the facelifted ones, this is a 19, so it is a facelift car, got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but I'll show you. There we go, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Fantastic. I don't think we've even got a sat-nav in here. Actually, we have. Excellent. We've got a sat-nav in here. Yeah, fantastic. I wonder if it'll show us exactly where we are. So if we go map, or that... Yes, there we go. Apologies for that, viewers. I'll try to remove that bit of footage because I was a bit concerned that some of those might be the previous owner's address or something. But there we go. Yeah, we're just near the Cricket House pub in Dudley, controversially. Battery discharge warning. Yeah, we'll start it up in a second. Yeah, dual zone climate control, all physical buttons here. It's not the sort of fanciest system I've ever seen, but look how kind of easy just to use in terms of the buttons along here. The nice big buttons for the heating and ventilation. It's quite high up the dash. It's not sort of down here to fiddle with it. Heated seats there. 2 12-volt sockets and a USB port. Actually got hill descent control in this car. 6-speed manual with a normal handbrake. In fact, I don't think you could get any other transmission on this 1.6 normally aspirated engine other than a 6-speed manual, but that's just fine. There is the lane keeping assist. Let's turn this off, I don't need that for a second. Lane keeping assist, turn off the auto start stop, automatic wipers, automatic light, high beam assist. And we've got sort of cruise control buttons on there, and buttons for the stereo and the telephone, and yeah, a separate climate button. Cup holders in here. We've got a little storage cubby. That side you can see we've got a nice big door bin. We have got a little bit of fabric on the door because of the armrest, although it's quite plain. But then a Skoda Karoq is exactly the same as this, which would have been available when this car was made in 2019. One thing I don't like is, although we've got the soft touch here and here, this is hard. Maybe you want to go for the GT line and GT line S and just get a bit more sort of, I don't know, sort of soft feeling materials, but never mind, it's okay, it's fine. Footrest down there, which is nice for the clutch foot. Seats are nice. I mean, the fabric is nothing exciting, but it's nice and conservative, it's pleasing enough. Sunglasses holder up here, and then all the sort of buttons you could want for the courtesy lights, which are LEDs. Yeah, just it's all very well, just sensibly thought out, this car. Right, I don't think my secret mission documents will go in without me taking out the manual, so I'll just take. Oh, it's a very, very big manual. Right, let's try get them in. Yes, viewers, this car meets with my approval. Just put those back in a second. This has only done like 21,000 miles, this car, so it's in very, very nice condition. Like most of the cars that Summit Garage sell on the used market, they're just very good at picking good examples. Right, there's not really much else to say in here, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. Right, let's have a look at the engine. So this is the 1.6 Gamma 2 engine, it's called, using a lot of Hyundais and Kias. In this case generating about 130 horsepower. No timing belt to worry about, it's a chain engine. The Gamma engines, they've been around for a long time. Whether it's the Gamma 1 or Gamma 2, this is a Gamma 2 because it's gasoline direct injection. They tend to be very reliable engines, there don't tend to be many problems. The only thing you might experience on these cars, and it's very rare, is that there might be a problem with a timing chain. That tends to happen only when these have been sort of neglected, but this one obviously has been nicely serviced and everything like that. You do get 7-year 100,000 mile warranty on these, so this car's well within its warranty period still. And yeah, I've not heard really any horror stories about these at all. There are a couple of things that I'll mention a little bit later, but nothing particularly serious. Can't see the gearbox, unfortunately, but it's down there. All the 1.6 non-turbo petrols are front-wheel drive. You can get a four-wheel drive as well on the turbo petrol. But yeah, this is the sort of specification that most people chose for these 4th generation Sportages. Okay, let's go for another drive, shall we? One thing I would say is that you might want to go for a model with all-round parking sensors, because you can't see the front of this with the driving seat very easily at all. So just be sort of wary of that. But yes, the ride seems okay. It's not too firm particularly. It's not bouncy. This is not a sports car by any means, but actually the steering for one of these feels quite accurate. Actually, it's very light in feel, like most cars are these days, but it actually feels like someone's worked quite hard to give this a little bit more of a sort of personality in terms of driving experience from a lot of these cars. An MGHS, for example, which does have sort of 2-mode steering on many models, I don't think it's as nice to drive as this. I think this is a better resolved car. I think the riding and handling balance is far better in this than one of those. It's not particularly exciting. Maybe the turbo petrol model would be, but I quite like this. I need to compare it again with the contemporary Hyundai Tucson, on which this was also based, to know for sure whether one of those is better than the other, but they're both very similar. I think I prefer this actually. Not so keen on maybe the looks of the front of the Sportage of this generation. I don't think necessarily that's the prettiest angle of these, but for a lot of people they'll just make an awful lot of sense, and as they continue to come down in price, which will happen over the next few years, I can see this being an incredibly popular choice for a lot of buyers in the second-hand market. I think I'd prefer to buy something like a Kia Ceed sports wagon, something like that. I prefer estates to SUVs personally, but this is it's a very nice car. This I would go for a higher trim level if it were me, just to get a few more luxuries, but you don't really need to for the vast majority of buyers. Let's now look at some 4th generation Kia Sportage trim levels. Right, the first ones are easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 2. And then the GT line, GT line S, GT line Edition. Other than that, some special ones like the Edition 25, the JBL Edition. The higher trim versions of this do have a sound system by JBL. This one doesn't have that. The Platinum Edition, I think the Edition 25 would have been in 2018 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Sportage. Then some of the early models were badged KX1, KX2, KX3, KX4 and KX5. Those we can't talk about on the channel, viewers. So should you consider a Mark IV Kia Sportage for your hard-earned budget of between £1,000 and £5,000? Well, the thing is, for that sort of money, you'd be looking at a very early car with over 150,000 miles on the clock. There's no reason why not. I mean, this one is worth considerably more than that. It's a 2019 facelift with 20,000 miles on the clock. So you're expecting to pay maybe £11,000 or something like this. But we've still got on this car 2 years warranty, and you know, that is pretty good. And it's got all the equipment that really most people would need. Not necessarily all the equipment they want, but most people would need. It's hard not to recommend a car like this. I don't know about the looks in the front particularly, but I've sourced one of these for a client before, and they were delighted by it. So there we go. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more reasonably priced motoring.